You are here with By the Cover. Today we're going to be reviewing The Nightbirds by Christopher Golden. The genre for this I would consider atmospheric horror. The book was 290 pages and took me 3 days to read. I would rate the book a 6 out of 10. This review will contain mild spoilers, so if you don't want to hear those, click off now. The synopsis. Charlie Book, a researcher studying the Christabel, a half-sunken 19th century freighter off of Galveston, is faced with a terrifying situation. When a storm rolls in, his former love, Ruby, seeks his help, along with a woman and her infant, who are being pursued by a coven of witches. The witches, known as the Nightbirds, are after the baby, whom they intend to sacrifice to bring their goddess into the physical world. Book, Ruby, and the others must find refuge on the Christabel, facing not only the storm and the looming threat of the witches, but also the chilling atmosphere of the decaying ship and its unique mangrove forest. My likes with this book: I really like the cover. In fact, the entire reason I picked up this book was because of the cover. I didn't even read the synopsis, which I should have. The side characters in this book were really solid. My favorite side character in the book was Otis, who takes care of the pier. I also enjoyed the 3 other members of Charlie Book's team. All of them were good characters and they all had good chemistry between each other. There were some very creative and disturbing scenes when the witches first showed up. Overall, the book has a really awesome setting and does a great job of building atmosphere. A run-aground old ship rotting through its center with a foreboding storm and fierce weather drives the feeling of isolation and keeps you on edge the entire time. As far as my dislikes, all 3 of the primary characters are not great. You've got Charlie Book, who's kind of an average, middle-aged guy that likes to be alone. He's not a bad character, but there's nothing really interesting about him. Ruby is just kind of thrust into the story, and there's no build-up of really any emotional connection between Book and Ruby. They're kind of standoffish between each other. It's not like they're going to get together. They just have things to work through throughout the book. And because there's no huge emotional connection there, and she doesn't really feel quite human, I didn't connect with Ruby either. But then there's May, and I absolutely hated May's character. I would consider her insufferable. I would have kicked her off the ship. She seems to me to be very selfish and just unpleasant in general. Primarily what brought this book down for me was that there was just a lot of sitting around and chatting, and too much of nothing going on for the majority of the book. A lot of it is spent in the wheelhouse of the ship, and there's just a lot of talking between May, Ruby, and Book going on while they try and keep forces from entering the ship. When the action did happen, it wasn't all that great. I didn't really like the ending. Because I didn't really care about the 3 primary characters, the emotional impact just wasn't there. I actually cared more about the side characters and what happened to them than I did the main characters. And I also thought that the drama between Bella, who is Ruby's sister, seemed unrealistic and pretty contrived, and it went on way too long. Overall, this book was a good concept that was ultimately brought down by the fact that I did not connect with the 3 primary characters, and there was a whole lot of nothing going on throughout most of the book. I did enjoy that it made me even mildly interested in a witch story, which for my tastes is quite an accomplishment. So that's about it. We'll catch you later.